First, let's start with the attendance policy. You must sign in if you are 10 minutes late for school. Otherwise, go straight to class. You will be marked tardy if not. You must sign out if you are leaving school. There is an 11-day credit denial policy per class, which means on the 11th day of absence per class, you will be denied credit. You may appeal, and you can come and talk with us about that at that time. When absent, your parent must call or bring a note to school within 24 hours. Give notes to attendants if you need to leave school for an appointment. You must be at school the entire day to participate in an MSHS-AA activity unless receiving approval from an administrator. 1 day plus the number of days excused is needed for makeup work. Tardies. The tardies policy has not changed since last year, but for those of you that do not know, we track tardies on a weekly basis. Upon the third tardy in a week, you will be given a lunch detention. Upon the fourth tardy of the week, you will be given 2 lunch detentions. On the 5th or more tardies in 1 week, you could receive ISS or OSS. A missed detention will result in a suspension. Please be on time. Dress code. Dress code is simple. Please just cover the body parts indicated on the drawing below. No inappropriate clothing. Do not wear clothing that references drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or weapons. Do not wear clothing that contains profanity, obscenity, or sexual innuendo. Hats are okay, but keep the hood down on hooded sweatshirts or jackets. Student IDs. Student IDs are used for 3 reasons. They are a safety issue. We must be able to identify who is in our building if they are supposed to be or not. They must be presented if asked, and you can use them in the LMC, the lunchroom, and you need them for all activities and dance entrance. Consequences may be given if you are not able to produce your ID upon request. Major discipline issues. These are the consequences for alcohol and drug violations. Under the influence at school or school-sponsored activities is a 45-day suspension. Possession of alcohol and drugs is a 90-day suspension. Intent to distribute or distribution is 180 days. Assault, bullying, fighting, tobacco, and weapons can be up to 180 days suspension. We take all of these major discipline issues seriously. Electronics policies violations are left up to the teacher's discretion. If you are referred to the office for an electronics policy violation, the first time you're referred will be a 2-hour detention. The second time you're referred will be a 3 to 5 day ISS. The third time, 5 to 10 day suspension. And on the 5 to 10 day on the 4th time, it will be an out-of-school suspension situation. Please make sure you know the teacher's policy in regards to the electronics usage in their classroom. Crisis plan. The crisis plan for you is very simple. Please know where to go in every classroom that you have in the case of fire, tornado, or lockdown situations. We will have several drills throughout the year. The teachers have maps located, and they are also a wealth of information. If you are worried about this or unsure, please ask your teacher. Sexual harassment policy. This is something that I will need to read to you verbatim from the policy to make sure that everybody has heard this and understood. Sexual harassment, a form of discrimination as defined above on the basis of sex. Sexual harassment is unwelcome conduct that occurs when A, benefits or decisions are implicitly or explicitly conditioned upon submission to or punishment is applied for refusing to comply with unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or conduct of a sexual nature, or B, the school or work environment becomes permeated with intimidation, ridicule, or insult that is based on sex or is sexual in nature, and that is sufficiently severe or pervasive enough to alter the conditions of participation in the district's programs and activities or the conditions of employment. Sexual harassment may occur between members of the same or opposite sex. The district presumes a student cannot consent to behavior of a sexual nature with an adult regardless of the circumstance. Sexual harassment behaviors that could constitute sexual harassment include, but are not limited to, sexual advances and requests or pressure of any kind for sexual favors, activities, or contact, conditioning grades, promotions, rewards, or privileges on submission to sexual favors, activities, or contact. Punishing or reprimanding persons who refuse to comply with sexual requests, activities, or contact. Graffiti, name-calling, slurs, jokes, gestures, or communications of sexual nature or based on sex. Physical contact or touching of sexual nature, including touching of intimate parts and sexually motivated or inappropriate patting, pinching, or rubbing. Comments about an individual's body, sexual activity, or sexual attractiveness. Physical sexual acts of aggression, assault, or violence, including criminal offenses such as rape, sexual assault or battery, and sexually motivated stalking. Against a person's will, or when a person is not capable of giving consent due to the person's age, intellectual disability, or use of drugs or alcohol. Gender-based harassment and acts of verbal, nonverbal, written, graphic, or physical conduct based on sex or sex stereotyping, but not involving conduct of a sexual nature. Thank you so much for listening today, and if you have any other questions, this LHS Student Handbook can be found online on our webpage. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's calling me.